What up, Dokkaners? We had a very interesting night for data downloads. We had global and JP. We're going to first start off by talking about global, but we also have to talk about JP because some very interesting things happened over on JP. But since this is a global focused channel, we will start off with the good news. The good news, folks, is that with this data download, we have been given the assets for all of the upcoming events for the rest of the celebration, totaling to over 100 Dragonstones that can be earned from all of these different events if you're able to get all the missions done. So big shout out to Proton10mg for all things data download information. Go ahead and follow him on Twitter at Proton10mg, trying to help him get to 5555. Let's see if we can do that. If we can just get 16 more people to follow, he would get 2 quadruple fives. That would be awesome. So let's talk about the global data download. We'll talk about all the global news, and then we will jump over to JP. So for global, we got the assets for the Enchila and Physical Fascia. These are the 2 units that are featured on the upcoming Rising Dragon Carnival banner, which, by the way, I will be doing another video for following this one, so stay tuned for that. Definitely want to check that out. It has to do with the Carnival coin situation. Also, we've got Super Battle Road, Stage 61, which is Low Class Warrior, which is the return of Gigarad. We also got the Extreme Z Battle for the LR GT Trio, Extreme Z Battle for the Girls Part 2. We've got the 14th Peton Battle and Explosive Chain Battle with Oceanus Shenron. So we are getting back-to-back chain battles, which is good because that just means that global is going to be close behind JP instead of having 1 or 2 awkward chain battles just kind of sitting there wondering when they'll ever get dropped. So this is all going to be happening over the next few days. These first 2 events will be dropping later on tonight, while the remaining 3 will be dropping in about 5 days from now. Now in total, I did say over 100 Dragonstones, so let's quickly do the math. Super Battle Road Stage 61, 6 Dragonstones. Explosive Chain Battle. Actually, let me just pull up the campaign. That should be easier. So let's go to the campaign here. Current global campaign. Let's scroll all the way down. So starting from this, we've got 33 Dragonstones coming from this Extreme Z Battle. 11 Dragonstones coming from Peton, so that's 44. Plus 6 stones from Super Battle Road, that's 50. Plus, we are getting 34 from the Extreme Z Battle for the girls, so that's going to be 84. Plus another 20 from the Explosive Chain Battle, so that gives you 104 Dragonstones. And then, of course, you know, if you can get more if you haven't done some of these events. And of course, it is dependent on you getting over 100 million on the Chain Battle score and finishing off every single other mission, including completing the entire series, which can be difficult for some people. This typically takes 2 seasons for some. So, you know, you might miss a couple of stones here and there, but still, a little over 100 Dragonstones to be gained, which is pretty awesome. So that is definitely good news. If you guys want to look at the missions, you can either check it out through the Dokkan Wiki by clicking on each event individually, or Proton has been nice enough to list all the missions right here for you guys to go check out. I don't know if it shows the rewards though. Yeah, it doesn't show the rewards. So if you want to go look and do the due diligence, feel free. In terms of the girls' upcoming EZAs, I'm going to be doing a video on this in the future, so there's no need to really gloss over this now too much. We have a Peppy Gals transformation boost key plus 3 150%, which is awesome. This Ribrienne is really good. The youth Chi-Chi, you're probably not going to be using this unit a whole lot, but the unit is a lot better and does a lot more of what it's supposed to do. Chi-Chi is also pretty good. Basically, long story short, what they did with this Chi-Chi is they broke up this crazy Peppy Gal support and they made 50% of that defense boost accessible to all allies and made the rest of it exclusive to Peppy Gals. So I was kind of hoping for an upgrade. They didn't do that, but still, this is a nice little redirect. And then lastly, we have Bola. Probably not going to get a whole lot of mileage out of Bola, but still, she is getting an EZA as well. So that's about it for global. And then the last thing that I should discuss with you guys, make sure you guys do the survey. The survey is now available for global players. Take the time to fill it out. You get 7 Dragonstones. This is the opportunity to help promote change in Dokkan. The Version Z update has been a very successful project over the last year, where they basically utilize the feedback that we give as a community to help prioritize where some of the major changes need to be made. Granted, I will admit, of course, they haven't really done that with some of the things that we really urgently want to change. That could be due to any number of reasons. Who knows? But the point is, Version Z is basically the flow of community feedback to being turned into actual changes for good in the game. So take this time to be constructive. Feel free to criticize. That's the entire point. Give your thoughts and opinions. But I urge you to try not to meme too much. Try not to, say anything too rude or dismissive, because then they will also just kind of forget or just kind of dismiss the entire survey from your submission. So the point is, the more people give their own thoughtful opinions on, the friend system or whatever else you care about, the more they see that, the more they see that common sentiment among players, the more they will probably feel likely to implement some sort of a change. Given what just happened on JP, which we'll be talking about in a second, I would imagine that this is probably even a more convenient time for all of us to really come together and talk about the friend system. Don't just say fix the friend system, but try to usher the similar sentiment about mirroring the friend unit. Perhaps, you know, this could incentivize summoning on banners more, because honestly, if you do have the ability to mirror with your own friend unit, people are no longer going to just say, I want to go for a 55% on a banner, because they say that under the assumption that a friend that they know might go further and summon and get a rainbow, which they can then use. But if they don't have the ability to rely on other people, they would then have to summon a little bit more themselves to maybe get a better friend lead for themselves. So it still ends up working out for the best. So I really don't see why there's a problem. But anyway, give your thoughts, share your opinions, get your 7 Dragonstones. Now, let's talk about JP. There was a big clown show that happened on JP. We need to talk about it. I think it's been addressed. I don't know if it's been fixed by the time this video goes out, but it is a very interesting situation that happened on JP. So with update 5.7.0, this update gave them a number of things, some regular bug fixes, a massive bug fix in the form of the action break, the disabling of enemy actions, the cancel move, where you basically use a 7-year LR's ultra super attack and you can cancel one action from your opponent. Sometimes that cancellation wouldn't take place and your opponent could still retaliate in the slot that they were supposed to have been canceled from. This bug has now been fixed on JP, so when Global gets update 5.7.0, we have that to look forward to. The characters that can be awakened are now very clearly indicated, which is good. Now here's the big problem. The logic for selecting guest supporters has been improved. This ended up not working out in the way that people had hoped. And originally, people were thinking that this might have something to do with an improved friend system, like they actually did it in a very subtle kind of way. Turns out it was more about the suggested friend unit rather than anything else. So what happened basically, long story short, is basically if you were trying to run through a particular stage, the friend unit that they first generate is the recommended friend. So in this particular example, Truth has a team and Raditz was suggested first. And then when he filtered his search results, he also found a Raditz, as you saw, right? So just take note of that, internalize that. Now, if he were to go to a red zone stage, which he tries to do right here, and he wants to utilize a Raditz friend unit, he goes to a team that would naturally want to have a Raditz lead. So he's got his own team with a Raditz leader. The whole team is designed to contain a Raditz. He goes to the refresh button, he doesn't show Raditz. Then when he goes to specifically find it, the Raditz is no longer to be found, while still keeping the same search parameters in place. This was one very weird, unusual example where the Raditz was not exactly showing up everywhere it was supposed to. That was one instance. Another instance is shout out to Dokkan World, who was trying to do the EZA for the Kid Goku, whose category is Revenge. He had a full Metacooler team, Wicked Bloodline team here with Revenge, but the main category that we want is Wicked Bloodline. So naturally, a suggested unit should be someone of the Wicked Bloodline caliber with an emphasis on Revenge. Instead, Raditz is being suggested, even though when he checks the other friends that he could look for, Metacooler is being shown. So the very concept of logic being improved was very much in question. Another example was for Air Dokkan. Air Dokkan ran a full Movie Heroes Power Beyond Super Saiyan team, clearly, and the suggested friend lead is a Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So something's not quite right here. Logic didn't seem to be improved. It seemed to have regressed in some way. And it was creating a series of problems for some people. Truth even made a video on it, so I recommend you guys go check it out. He was very, it was a much more understandable firsthand look at what he was dealing with. So since then, Dokkan has responded. Thank you for using Dokkan Battle. Currently, we have confirmed the following issues. There are 2 different issues that they're dealing with. Number 1, when challenging a stage, supporters suitable for the team are not automatically selected. If one occurs, you can re-elect by pressing the reload button. You can also select supporters manually. Even then, it wasn't very successful. Number 2, when trying to challenge the stage, invalid supporter card ID is displayed and the stage cannot be challenged, and then the title screen may be displayed. This was another issue where basically the recommended friend lead was inoperable, literally unusable, and if you were to click OK, it would give you basically like an error code, forcing you to basically restart the entire application. So kind of a problem there. They are appearing to be trying to fix it now. I don't know whether they fixed it by the time this video goes live, maybe a few hours after that. As soon as I find out and I'm able to, I will try to provide some sort of an update in the pinned comment, or just stay tuned on Twitter. But yeah, this is a very unfortunate situation that's happening on JP. My main concern with this is that Global will eventually inherit the same series of problems. Now, with these sort of matters, I would like to think that they would fix it and never give us the bugged version to begin with, but that hasn't necessarily always happened in the past. we have had issues in the past where certain glitches continued over into global, and then their eventual fixes followed that later on, where you would have thought that since JP already dealt with the issue, they wouldn't give global the glitched product, but they still did. So if this ends up happening for us whenever we receive update 5.7.0, we're just going to have to weather the storm and then deal with it whenever they fix it. But it looks like the turnaround is not going to be for very long, since they were very quick to respond to this, which was very good, very promising. So there you have it. That is all that we've got on the data downloads. Also, one last thing, the Baba Shop units have all been given EZAs. So I was wrong in my prediction. I thought that they would be happening sequentially, but JP has been given all 5 of these units EZAs. We will discuss these in a later video, but all of these free-to-players are now going to be providing some nice support for their respective types. So look forward to that video later on. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments anything at all, anything you have to say about either the survey, your thoughts on the survey, this whole friend logic search situation on JP. Perhaps you have something to say about the Baba Shop EZAs, the girls EZAs. How many of these Dragon Stones do you think you're going to be earning from all of these upcoming events? You can earn up to 104 in total. Are you going to be able to complete all of those missions for Chain Battle, for Peton Battle? Just talk to me. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let YouTube know going to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.